Well, it's not every day you come across a Maya Blue Range Rover Sport SVR. Let's check it out. Now that we're a few years removed from this generation for the Range Rover Sport, it's easy to say that this is the last of its kind. It's a muscular SUV that can easily go head-to-head with the BMW X5M or Mercedes-Benz GLE 63. Today now with the SV Edition 1, which replaced this SVR, is more like a grand touring SUV, similar to what you're going to find in an Aston Martin DBX 707 or Bentley Bentayga. Land Rover has most certainly gone more upscale, more upmarket with this particular model for the new generation, and we saw that last year with just a regular Range Rover Sport with the inline 6. It also uses the MLA platform, which is also underpinning the larger Range Rover. So with that, it's going to be more refined, more upscale, more luxurious, and also at its base cost in the high 80s is most certainly going to be a very enticing SUV to purchase if you're looking for a luxury and exclusive experience. Whereas the SVR for this generation, and again looking at it now 2 years later, this is an affordable, muscular vehicle that has the practicality, persona, and just the street cred that you want to have in a vehicle like this. And because of that, it's a completely different perspective on this market. Now, back in the day with the SVR, you get it at a base cost of $117, and then for the Ultimate Edition, $140. Whereas the new SV Edition 1 is priced at $180,000 to start. They have most certainly taken a huge leap forward with the successor to this model. However, the reason why I pulled this from the lot is because what's under the hood. The supercharged V8 engine from a Jaguar F-Type is unbelievable. It gives you an experience that cannot be found in a lot of modern day SUVs, especially at this price point. Now, with the supercharged V8, you also get the grunt and muscle of that exhaust system. Whereas if you've had any experience with the SV Edition 1, the twin-turbo V8 from BMW is a bit more muted and not as audible or as beast-like. This is an absolute beast on the roadways, and of course, with the exterior paint color, the Maya blue color that we have here today, it draws so much attention. This is a baller SUV. Now, because this Range Rover Sport does have the D7 platform, it feels more rugged, it feels more rigid than what you're going to find in the new Range Rover Sport. Is that a bad thing? I don't think so at all, especially if you are somebody who loves to have this straight line speed and performance that also gives you a sense of luxury and quality, but it leans more towards that straight line speed. You have a very premium feeling steering wheel with aggressive 10 and 2 positions, but firm 9 and 3 grips. And I have to say, even though this platform and this suspension was not dialed in and designed for grand touring purposes or for track use, its handling is very responsive. Also, love the brake feel as well, nice and strong. Heading into the corner, not too much body roll. When you're not on throttle and you're not going 8 or 9 tenths all the time, this is actually a very suitable daily driver and is very comfortable indeed. It's quiet. The interior insulation is top notch. Also, love the interior quality with the leather on the dashboard, the carbon fiber. It just feels so nice and welcoming being behind the wheel. But the reason why I say this is the last of its kind from the brand is because you can most certainly feel it. You can feel it in the handling, you can feel it in the steering input, and you can most certainly feel it with the suspension. What Land Rover has done to the Range Rover Sport for the successor of this model They have really gone more upscale. They've gone more premium luxury, even though Land Rover and Range Rover has always been premium luxury. Instead of going head to head on the higher end against Mercedes-Benz, Audi, and BMW, they're in a way leaving them behind to focus on manufacturers like Aston Martin, like Bentley. I would not go in the Ferrari or Lamborghini direction, but I can most certainly see them going in a direction that would bring in a more prestigious and also more exclusive customer base. And you see that with the Range Rover product line. The Defender is kind of slot into place where the SVR was, especially with the V8 for the Defender. If you remember that review, I absolutely loved it. It had that rugged feel, it had that SUV experience. And this has that same feeling, especially with the handling, especially with just the way it corners and sits on the roadways. Whereas the new Range Rover Sport kind of feels like a baby, larger Range Rover. And because of that, it gives the Defender a place in the lineup. And in retrospect, having this and the Defender would be seen as a bit of redundancy, because the Defender with the V8 can cost $120,000. And now with the SV Edition 1, that's $180,000. So now you have a strong placement for that Defender, which I know a lot of people love. And the Defender is drawing in a lot of buyers who typically would have gone into a Range Rover Sport. It's intoxicating. The snorting of that exhaust, it's like an angry hippo. It's so muscular and most certainly has some of that Jaguar F-Type DNA. And with this 8-speed automatic transmission, the gear shifts are crisp, smooth, and very responsive. They're immediate. And you hear those crackles too. It adds to the overall experience. But this right here is where the SVR is at its best, in a straight line. Well, I am more than confident in the corners with this vehicle. I know that with the new SV Edition 1 and all the development that Land Rover has made to the suspension, the chassis, the 6D dynamics, that's a more suitable SUV for a lot of enthusiasts who are getting up there in age, who have families that need an all-in-one great package. And that's not to say this isn't an all-in-one great package. But I would say this is for a completely different market, especially with the supercharged V8. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this review of the 2022 Range Rover Sport Ultimate Edition. If you did, please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more. And I will see you guys next time.